Hello, everybody. My name is Juan Ulloa, and my partner is Jurgeen Quesada. And today we are going to talk about possible solutions for the spread of fake news on social networks. First, we need to know what is a fake news. And fake news is a term used to conceptualize the dissemination of fake news, causing a dangerous circle of disinformation. Fake news is usually related to the word post-truth. The word post-truth refers to information that is believed to be truth, based and appealing to emotions, beliefs, or desires, instead of verifiable facts. An example of this is when people think they saw the face of Jesus Christ in the sky, in the clouds, or something like that, and then they take pictures and videos and spread them in social media. Or we can also talk about the desires. It happens when people want a specific candidate of some election to win, and so they start spreading news about him with positive things that aren't really true. Now we have types of fake news. Um, First, we have the satire or parody, that these kind of fake news don't have a bad intention, and it is easy to detect that they are false. They are usually jokes or comics that want to make some statement about something bad in society. Then we have the false or misleading content. It is when the content of the news is false with the intention to defame or incriminate someone or something. Like when on an election, um, people start spreading negative news about a candidate, like they steal something or they did something bad to another person or something like that, and just with the intention to create a negative image for that person in society. Then we have the manipulated content. This content is when the basis of the news is real, but is told out of context, or parts of the story are changed. Like, I don't know, when somebody does something like kill somebody, but the person did it on self-defense, but sometimes only the first part of the news spread and they think the person is a bad person or a criminal when they just act in self-defense. Then we have the clickbait. The clickbait is when the title of the news announces something different from the real content of the news. It happens a lot in social media when you see, like, with this recipe you can lose 15 kilograms in 2 days. And you know that is impossible, but people sometimes believe it, and when they click on the title, they just receive a lot of advertisement or receive a recipe that is 100% nonsense. Now, we have some reasons of why fake news spread a lot of this in these times. First, we have the freedom of expression. And everyone has the right to express their ideas and beliefs freely, no matter if those ideas or beliefs are really stupid or can be even dangerous, because they don't believe in vaccines and they start saying that vaccines are a bad thing or something like that. Well, it is like a very stupid thing to think, but well, they have the right to believe it, and we can do anything about it. And then another reason of the spread of fake news are social networks, because with the recent use of social networks, everyone can create a lot of content. You can just go ahead and tweet something or make a Facebook post about how you, using the same example, you don't believe in vaccines, and that post can have a lot of repercussion on society, on virtual society. So those are some reasons. Now we have some tips to spot fake news. First, you have fact checking. It is when you check the sources of the information that you obtained. It is like not believe in every article you you read online, because you don't know who wrote it or why this person wrote it. So you must only believe in news that you read read from recognized or verified um, sites, like, I don't know, BBC or an important local newspaper or something. Another tip is, continuing with this newspaper thing, is to consult local sources, because these local sources usually have a lot of journalists that search for real information, because it's their job. These local sources can be newspapers, newscast, magazines, or any other trustful source of information. Then another tip, it is like most of an online tip, is the reverse image search. It's when usually in news, they insert a lot of pictures and images, and you can actually reverse search these pictures. You just have to Google reverse image search, and then Google gives you the option to upload a picture and gives you the origin of this image. So this can be useful to discover whether an news is fake or not. Now Jurgen is going to continue with the presentation.
Fake news on ancient history. Around 2000 years ago, the Roman Republic was facing a civil war between Octavian, the adopted son of the original Julius Caesar, and Mark Antony, one of Caesar's most trusted commanders. To win the war, Octavian knew he had to have the public on his side. Winning important battles helped, but if the people didn't like him, he would not to be a successful ruler. To get the public backing, Octavian launched a fake news war against Mark Antony. He claimed Antony, who was having an affair with Cleopatra, the Egyptian queen, didn't respect traditional Roman values like faithfulness and respect. Octavian also said he was unfit to hold office because he was always drunk. Octavian got his message to the Republic through poetry and short, snappy slogan printed onto coins. It was a bit like an ancient version of a politician today releasing a book or sending out a social media post. Octavian eventually won the war and became the first emperor of Rome, ruling for over 4 years. Fake news and war. Propaganda has been used in wars throughout history to try and change people's views. This is the type of fake news where false information is used for a political gain. It can help change public opinion by persuading people that their country should go to war or convince them the other side is their enemy. In 1898, in the United States Navy, ship called USS Maine sank in Cuba. Some of the newspapers at the time blamed the Spanish for the sinking and used artist illustration of a dramatic explosion to convince readers that this was true. However, there was also no real evidence of this being the fact. Americans now saw the Spanish as the enemy. A few years later, the Spanish-American War broke out. The false reports had worked. Closer to home, in 1917, during the First World War, British newspapers such as Times and the Daily Mail ran a gruesome story claiming that the Germans were extracting fat from the bodies of dead soldiers on both sides of the war to make soap and margarine. The story came from an official British government department and was spread to the press. The official knew that this story was untrue, but it helped persuade readers that the Germans were a barbaric enemy and convinced that many of they that had to be defeated. Fake news now. In recent years, there has been an explosion of fake news as false stories are shared widely on social media without being fact-checked. Cheap and portable access to the internet across the globe means stories can spread in a matter of seconds and minutes rather than days or weeks. Many of these stories are completely made up and can make money from advertising. The more clicks and website gets, the more money it makes. This often leads to clickbait, eye-catching but misleading headlines, designed to get the people to click on links. Its purpose can be generate clicks and advertisement money, but it can also be used to influence public opinion with headlines that appeal to our beliefs. This happened a lot during the 2016 US president election, where fake news about the candidate spread and could have influenced the public on how they vote. As fake news became more widespread, the term itself began to change. Politicians began to use the phrase to attack news organizations they disagreed, organization they disagreed with, accusing them of being the ones who spread fake news. By calling real news fake news, it allowed real fake news to get more attention as people didn't know who trust. Very confusing. The future of fake news. Over the years, the development of technology has helped fake news spread through documentation like the printing press, photography, and social media. Videos were usually a very reliable source of news, as they can be faked as easily and photographed or headline. However, the reliability of video source is now under treated from deepfakes. These are videos that use computer software and machine learning to create a digital version of someone. Normally, it is used to put in the face of a celebrity or a politician onto someone else's body. As the technology improves, deepfakes will become more realistic and harder to notice, but many amateur deepfakes can be spotted in an unusual flickering or blurring around the face. So keep an eye out for that if you are suspicious about a video you've seen.